There's that Winnipeg Blue Bomber defensive line on the saver in the moment right now. Alouettes first and goal from in close. First down, stuffed. Second down, stuffed. They hold the Montreal Alouettes to a short field goal. Big moment in this game for Richie Hull's defense.
Great goal line stand by that D. Andrew Harris is stuffed. So this Alouette team that leads with its defense, of course, really the last few years, will have to come up with something here on second down. Differential in the fourth quarter between these teams. Again, the Bombers haven't been able to close football games. Minus 33, the Alouettes plus 3-point differential. See how it plays out. Lofting it out here for Alouette Godino. Cuts back to the ball, and that extra effort down the sideline, that tightrope walk, gained a few extra valuable yards and will move the chains.
Alouette Godino seeing his opportunities increased a little bit here offensively with Rory Kohler departing via free agency in the offseason. Guy who's been a pretty reliable backup over the last couple of years.
First catch tonight for Alouette Godino. Time for Nichols. Fires. TJ Thorpe. For Virginia Cavalier. Guy who had a rash of injuries in college and has carved his own good comeback story. Spent some time on some practice rosters in the National Football League. Durham, North Carolina. Langford in motion. 2nd and 4. Nichols empties the backfield. Gives it off to Harris. Harris, a straight arm with Tavel. Tavel breaks him down, but a first down again for Winnipeg into Montreal territory.
Blue Bombers here test the young middle linebacker Tavel as he finds himself in space. Trying to chase Andrew Harris, pretty accomplished receiver. Harris's hand just catching the face mask of the middle linebacker there on the stiff arm.
Harris, who is the feature tailback, but operates really as a 6th receiver at times. 69 yards through the air. They give it off to Adams on a quick hitter. Darvin Adams down near the 40. Of course, Darvin Adams, the catch of the week last week. One-handed catch of the night as well for the Blue Bombers tonight. Andrew Harris on 2nd and 2. First down again, Winnipeg. Let's go back to last week in BC in that back-and-forth ball game. Here's one to remember.
Darvin Adams, we talked about the one-handed catch. The fact that it's become, call it accepted practice. Something that was once kind of seen as hot dogging is now really recognized as a skill in football.
Nichols, great drive here. Adams. Big collision on that far side with Tyree Hollings. Darvin Adams came into tonight with 3 touchdowns on the season. Former Auburn Tiger. Used to catch footballs from Cam Newton at one time.
Darvin Adams, a guy who started his CFL career with the Toronto Argonauts, like Julian Alouette Godino, guys that Mike O'Shea saw when he was an assistant coach. He's given them an opportunity to have a bigger role here.
2nd and 5, pocket closed, and Nichols couldn't get that up. Otherwise, that was a first down. So once again, an exchange of field goal kickers tonight. Justin Medlock and Boris Beatty continue to spar. Nichols got his
Takes
grill.
a little bit of a hand to the face.
Tap there by Napton. This will be from near the 37-yard line. Again, Weston Dressler can't play tonight, and there is a challenge. Mike O'Shea might win this one. Last second buzzer beater before that play on the challenge. Challenge potential roughing the passer.
Yeah, and this I think would be a worthwhile one for
Winnipeg is
Michael
challenging
Shea.
the previous play, feeling that there was unnecessary roughness upon their quarterback. This will be reviewed.
We'll await the verdict from the jury at CFL Command. So Command felt this was not roughing the passer, even though the hand got to the grill and really in front of the jersey as Nichols was dumped.
Yeah, in the realm of looking at the purpose of review and the kinds of things you're trying to correct, I'm just fine with that being left alone.
That could open up another can of worms on a lot of calls as Medlock misses. Logan gives up one. Justin Medlock has missed 2 field goals tonight. 30-28 now the score. Lots of time left here, though.
Well, Darian Durant prepares to go back to work. You got to believe at some point in this possession he'll be looking for number 85. This duo spending some time together in the pregame warm-up. That's translated pretty well for direction on the field throughout this ballgame.
Cunningham, 4 catches, 84 yards and a touchdown. Durant play action, and then it's rocked. No call. Cunningham on cue has the catch and the first down. Darian Durant was picked up and just dusted in the backfield, but got that ball away.
You saw how Jackson pushed off the coverage. Cunningham just makes his break into open space.
Team that used to have S.J. Green, Deron Carter, of course, explosive receivers. E.J. Cunningham is the latest. Ernest Jackson as well. One of those weapons for Darian Durant. Moves the football again, moves the sticks again. They'll go 1st and 10. Near the 46-yard line.
Coming out of the offseason, the receiver group, for many people, was considered an area of concern for the Montreal Alouettes. They have enough talent to threaten opposing defenses. Everybody knows about Ernest Jackson. Nick Lewis is Nick Lewis. E.J. Cunningham has been kind of the wild on what he developed into in his second season as a starter, and he's been terrific.
Durant stands in, fires. Making his first catch of the night. Western Mustang. George Johnson. 5th catch of his brief CFL career. A former basketball player in university as well. In fact, played for the Mustang basketball team and the football team.
When he first got to Western, London native, did the 2-sport thing, eventually moved strictly to football. He was a 2060 draftee for the Owls.
4th round pick. Ernest Jackson bobbles it, drops it. Time for another 2nd down conversion. Really, most of this second half, we haven't seen drives finished off. Defenses have been able to hold, stiffen. We've seen a lot of the kickers come out. Horace Beanie's been busy. Justin Medlock busy. We'll wonder if Medlock's misses might haunt the Bombers here tonight. Mascots Buzz and Boomer getting this crowd riled up. Here's the rush. Durant just lays it in on the far side. They give forward progress to B.J. Cunningham, but it's going to be short. It's going to be 3rd and almost 2 yards, 1.5 yards. Durant wants his offense to stay out, but they're going after the points here. They'll bring Brady out one more time. 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
No sooner had you mentioned it, Rod, the defense is bending but not breaking a whole lot here in the second half. The Bombers come up with a 2nd down stop.
Horace Beanie trying to make it 4 for 4. Snap, but the kick is up and it is good. Beattie has only had one miss this season. Clutch tonight. Extends the lead. 5-point game now on Thursday Night Football in the Manitoba capital. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro. We noticed this during the break.
Yeah, Vernon Adams. Pretty good recovery there. No panic from the backup quarterback. That one didn't come in exactly as he wanted, but great poise to get it down. A good position for his kicker, Boris Beattie.
Bombers now. Time ticking away, looking to try to get a drive to the end zone here. Down 5. Vernon Adams, of course, was part of that quarterback carousel last year. Saw some playing time. Montreal did not know who their quarterback was going to be in the offseason. Then went out and got Darian Durant. Things have changed considerably in the new season. About to hit the 1/3 pole of the season with 3 wins if they can hang on. Dan Lefevre back in, 2nd and 1. He had success. He had to get to the 45, and it looks like he did. Trots Nichols. 15 of 21 games this season. For tonight, not decided till the final 3 minutes. Margin of victory lowest in CFL history. Another one of those games tonight here, 40.
It's been a fun one from these two teams right from the get-go.
Team with the ball last might be the victor tonight. Look out, Matt Nichols, you're going down. Brandon Dozier put him in his crosshairs, and he was coming hard, and Nichols had nowhere to go but down. He's sacked down near the 35-yard line, and that's a big loss here for the Blue Bombers. It'll be 2nd and throwing.
You can see this one kind of unfold in slow motion. You're going to see Dozier loop all the way through the middle and untouched the whole way on this path. His blitz was a little bit delayed. But once he went, he was just like a heat-seeking missile.
Who will Matt Nichols go to? Has to rule out, and down he goes with the ball just getting released the last moment, and he's hurt. Looks like he's favoring his right hip or leg. He's going to hobble to the sidelines. John Bowman getting to Matt Nichols again. That was almost Bowman's hat trick, 3rd sack of the night.
Well, they've got the twist on between Bowman and Keith Sholigan. Good penetration. Then Bowman just did a nice job in pursuit after initially being caught inside.
Steph Logan, 342.
Looks like he's shaking off the effects here. You'll see Bowman penetration to the inside on that twist, and then just great pursuit as the quarterback was flushed. Good heads-up play by Nichols to get rid of it and preserve field position by avoiding a sack.
Just awkward twisting.
Too many
like
men, Montreal. That penalty's declined. 1st down, Montreal.
Too many men on the field. Montreal will scrimmage here from the 30. Nichols is going to have to play these final 3.5 minutes. In some pain here tonight, it looks like. Bombers play comeback, and the Alouettes hang on. Durant shotgun to chew out some of this clock, take it down to the 3-minute warning. There's Rutley crashing forward. Minimal gain. Throwing down now for Durant and company.
Well, that's what the Bombers needed on 1st down. To force some opportunities to create turnovers here.
Is this Nick Lewis time? Safety valve. Over the top, can't find anybody. Now flushed, escapes, and Darian Durant slides down with the first down as the clock ticks to 2:39. 3-minute warning. Alouettes eating up some valuable time here on the clock, clinging to a lead, looking to even their record at 3-3 in Winnipeg. Trying to will their team defensively here. Visiting team trying to come in after giving up an interception early in the lead. It's really controlled the lead since then. Durant likely will keep this on the turf to Brandon Rutley. Rutley gets some great blocks here, and Brandon Rutley down the sideline, and a huge gain for the Alouettes tailback. There is a penalty flag on the far side.
Yeah, it's likely going to be a hold against one of the Owls receivers who got out their lead blocking, but this should be after the first down was achieved. Great crack block by George Johnson. The receiver came down on the defensive end. That was what created the edge.
For first down, holding Montreal, number 87. 10-yard penalty, first down.
He knew it too. Eugene Lewis. His second CFL game, and great run by Rutley. Taking seconds off the clock, ticking down just above 2 minutes. Bombers don't want to force the Alouettes out of Beanie's field goal range. Desperately trying to get the football back here. Issue for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this season, closing time. Fourth quarters have not been able to finish. They've got to come back here. Boyu gets called back. Steph Logan, stutter step, first down and more. Alouettes came in with a #1 rushing offense in the CFL. Winnipeg near last in rushing defense.
Tight end formation. They bring in the extra O-lineman, Philippe Gagnon. He lines up as the tight end. That's exactly where they go. They're able to double team the defensive end, the man at the point of attack, with the 2 D linemen before working up to second level.
So the Bombers, their second last in passing defense, very adept at the run, but not stopping the run right now. Rutley eating it up, chewing up yardage here. Loeffler makes the tackle. 2:04 to go. Second down time again.
Well, continuing to run the football off tackle and around the edge. Chris Randall is up there in run support. Rutley with a nice outside in fake on Brandon Alexander, knowing Alexander's got to keep contained. He's got to honor in that situation the outside fake.
Alouettes, 150 rushing yards. This is a huge play in the ball game. Bombers trying to get the ball back, and there goes Steph Logan. And Steph Logan is going to score. Touchdown. The Alouettes, in these final 2 minutes, have run the ball down the Bombers' throat.
Well, as you've got these two teams both kind of trying to find their way and learning how to win, here's a big step in that regard for the Montreal Alouettes at crunch time. Great run lane created there, but throughout this possession, at a time when the defense, the fans in the stands, everybody watching at home, everybody knows the run is coming, and they're still able to execute it successfully. That's the sign to me of a winning football team.
Huge 7 points, exclamation points for the Montreal Alouettes, who just sealed it. Unless the Bombers can score quickly and get an onside kick, do all the math here, but the Alouettes have put 40 points on the board. This is a team that averaged 20 coming in, and tonight
well, they've got a bye week next week, so they had to.
They have.
I love y'all, baby.
Mr. Excitement.
Mom and Dad, hey, that's what they do.
What's you, man?
See you all day. 305.
Brandon Rutley one way. Steph Logan gets some touches.
Everything, baby.
And the fourth quarter collapse for the Blue Bombers continues. Have to try to find a way to finish these games. No panic yet.
I know you're yelling, baby. I know my people's back home.
Certainly, I'd say concern for Winnipeg. Starts to get in your kitchen.
Yeah, it does. I mean, winning and losing are learned behaviors.
You've got to find a way to score quickly. Jake Thomas, tough man to bring down, but they bring him down near the 40 with 1:35 to go.
Well, it's going to be a tough task. And here's the stretch that made it even tougher. Runs by Brandon Rutley and Steph Logan. Series of big runs, about 4 in a row. Attacking off tackle, attacking the perimeter. Culminating with that Steph Logan touchdown.
Andrew Harris near the midfield stripe. They've got to score quickly here. Did not look good for Montreal early on in this game. The Alouettes find a way to close, and the Bombers have not. There's Thorpe. In at 20. Offensively, the Alouettes have executed almost a masterful game plan here tonight. Balance, throwing and running. They come in here. Many kudos to their offense. They were still, as you mentioned, Dwayne, a work in progress.
Yeah,
the narrative changes.
Yeah, big steps forward over the last 2 weeks for the Montreal Alouettes offensively.
There's Anthony Calvillo, the legend, of course, all-time passing leader.
Yeah, quarterback coach in Montreal, a guy who plays a big part in terms of readying the game plan. Like Darian Durant for game day.
He inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in September, along with G. Roy Simon and that man, Mike O'Shea, well-deserved, will go in the Hall. His great playing career. Furthest thing from his mind tonight. And AC's. There's Thorpe. Hebert. His game 150 of Kyrese Hebert's career tonight. Tweaked his leg there, but he'll stay in. Hardly mentioned the Angry Bird tonight.
It's been all about the Alouette offense, which is quite a change for them.
And that front three as well. There's Thorpe. Stutter step. 50 seconds to go, and he'll slice it down to the 3-yard line. You never know in the Canadian Football League.
I'll tell you what, the Alouettes on this drive, I think, have been a little bit too passive.
Yes.
Quite frankly, that they've let the Bombers march down the field too easily, that they have an opportunity to score with a lot of time on the clock.
Nichols throws it away. Time running out on Winnipeg. Again, they need a touchdown